God, it's freezing out there. I think it's about 8 degrees or something ridiculous today, considering it was 20 odd the other day. Yeah, the wind's got right up. It's a good job we brought the boat in. I just saw a picture of somebody who's actually lost their boat, or it's turned on its side and sunk, pretty much. Anyway, today's video, we're going to be heading out and we're going to be doing some fishing, and we're going to be trying to catch some fish. Then what we're going to do is we're going to head down the coast or along the cliffs. We're going to find a nice little bay area, and we're going to throw the anchor over, and then we're going to cook some fish. And then when we've had our lunch, which will be the fish obviously, we're going to try and catch big Ballan Wrasse, or I'll show you the technique I use for catching big Ballan Wrasse. Now we're obviously off the boat, but the same thing applies off the shore. In fact, when I was a child, I used to go down the cliffs several times a week, especially during the summer holidays and that. I was fishing all the time for the Ballan Wrasse and the mackerel and the pollock from the cliffs. So yeah, it's kind of my element down there. And then after that, we'll come back and we'll just pull a crab pot. And obviously the video is going to be a lot longer. Now, if you like this sort of content, like I say, today I'm just going to see what people's reactions are to this sort of thing. Leave a like. If you don't like it, leave a dislike. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything. And unless you click the actual bell icon after you've subscribed, you won't get notified. So if you want to be notified, make sure to click the bell icon on that. And of course, if the channel grows, then we'll do much more this sort of content, as opposed to just a regular fishing. We can do all these extra days of different things like this. Now, when we go along to the cooking part and the wrasse bit, there is a bit of blustery wind here and there. I've tried to sort of cut it out where I can, and obviously there will be patches of blustery wind. This was unfortunate because I had planned to do this trip. It was going to be a nice day. The wind was going to be in a certain direction, which would be perfect. But the very day I went out, they decided it wasn't going to be a northwest wind. It was going to be a northeast. It was going to be a southeast, which comes in as opposed to comes from behind the cliff. But like I said, that'll only be little patches of it a bit further in. So, hope you enjoy the video. Here it comes. To clear my tracks. GPS. Well, we've come out to one mark. We'll move on to some others afterwards. We'll just give it a bit of a fish around here. We'll start with silicone lures. It's good actually because it gives me a chance to test out the fish finder as well, the new fish finder, see what it's like, see if it shows markings and stuff here. At the moment it's reset this up. That's what the old Lowrance used to do, but it's because I've been motoring along, it's a bit upset. Sometimes it works if you go slowly, but because we were going faster. Now, if I'm sort of like this all the time, it's because my back is giving me grief. It's doing the pots. Now you think to yourself, well, why go fishing? Why do pots by hand and all the rest of it if you've got a knackered back? Well, it's the back is a balancing act. I still need to work the back, but I just mustn't overdo it. This is why I do what I do. This is why I do this. Because if I was to work for somebody doing something else, then I might have to spend 8 hours doing something which hurts my back. I can't just say, oh, I can't do the job kind of thing. So I do this because I can, if my back gets bad, like today we're going to do the rods, sit around fishing, that sort of thing. And when the back's feeling good, I'll do the pots. I mean, we might do a few pots on the way back in, but we don't need to do them all. So it's all a bit of a balancing act, because I've got to keep the muscles strong in the back. In fact, the worst thing for me is sitting around too long, because that just makes the muscles lose the muscle around the back, and then it all pressures on the spine, and then I get in more trouble. So, you know, you just got to keep going, really, haven't you? Am I hopeful out here? Not really. It hasn't done well out here for 2 or 3 years now. It's terrible because it used to be a fantastic fishing area. Used to guarantee you could catch pollock out here, and I mean the pollock were normally sort of 3 to 5 pounds. And like I say, you could come out here every time, pick up some pollock. Then a bunch of chefs decided to tell everybody that you should eat pollock because it's sustainable. But the true fact is, nothing is sustainable if you start hammering it for everything it's worth. The way I look at it, if you get rid of all the really big factory ships, all the corporates making millions out of the ocean, a lot more people could be out here, smaller boats, doing this, you know, fishing like this, back stuff, no real bycatch more than that, you know, the odd one, but not in the thousands or millions of tons that they get. Trouble is, nothing ever changes. They let them carry on, destroying everything. It's insanity, it really is. The worst thing about it is everybody knows it and nothing's done about it. All because of the green, you know. Somebody's making millions, screw everything else. Well, we're kind of at slack water now anyway. It's quite good because we got around here in reasonable time. We'd have to fight the tide, we'd be out here for 2 or 3 times as long to get around here. When we go back, we should be going with the tide, so we'll fly back round. I'm just hoping there's a few fish around here because, you know, not looking good at the moment. Let me just check my marks because I'm a bit rusty this time of year. Right, we need to be that way more. No, that was a fish. That's a fish. If they're mackerel, they might not get hooked, so I have to change my lures to smaller ones. That was definitely fish. There are fish chomping at them. Like I say, I reckon it might be mackerel. Fish. Fish, fish, fish. What's it going to be? Pollock? Or mackerel? Or bass? Wow, small bass, look at that. I knew they were coming this way, the bass though. I was telling somebody yesterday, I believe that they come round down this way. That lure slipped up. Down for now. When we do the next drift, we'll change our lures a bit. I might put on some of my other lures which will catch the bass, bigger ones. Another one. Right, see if we can get a big bass or pollock or something. This feels better. give him a measure. I mean, we could keep one for lunch, but just got to make sure we get a legal one first. I think this one is probably not legal. Well, it is, but it's right on the size. I want to get it a little bit bigger than that. You know, and that one's literally probably half a centimetre over. I'd like to get one at least, you know, I think, well, I mean the size limit's 42, so I'd like to get one at least 44, 45 minimum. Ah, this one maybe. It feels small, but you never know. Thing is as well, the fish are very lean at the moment because, no, that's too small as well. They've been breeding. These ones haven't, I don't think, but try again. Oh yeah, I can show you this one, I'm at it. These are crabs we took in yesterday to sell. Now I sold most of them and I got a couple left over. So that's what I do with them. I keep them alive. I always take water so they're not dead. They're perfectly alive. That way I don't have to, like I say, take anything unnecessarily. Everything gets returned alive if it doesn't get eaten or sold. Yeah, that's a pollock. Lovely. Well, we got something anyway. I'm gonna keep that. There it is. There it is. Another nice pollock. Check that we are recording. Yes, we are. You never know. I've done it before. I've thought I was recording and I wasn't. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Nice one. Pollock. Oh, I see. I see. Bass on a pollock. Bass will go back. It's only a small one. Pollock I'll keep. It's not big, but it got caught in the back of the head. Done a lot of damage to the fish, so we can fry it. We can fry that one then. Let me just get back down. I'm going to put that one out of its misery in a sec. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a good sized one. For this morning anyway. Ooh. Oh yeah, mackerel. We might have mackerel for lunch. Check that beauty out. Nice to see, nice to see. I've only caught one so far this year, so let's get back down there, might be more. Shut the camera down for a bit. Put something with the small hooks. I think it's just pollock, but might be a mackerel. Doesn't feel like it though. It's a wrasse. It's blown its insides as well, so we'll keep it because we need bait for the pots anyway, so that'll be really useful. That that'll last some pots. And they're really good for catching lobster. It's alright. Not giant, but it's alright. My back hurts from standing here for so long, so we're just going to go and chill out for a little bit. Just to get this right. Like that. That'll do. That. Just got to clear this a bit first. Right, we're coming in here now. I know there's sand in here, but I'd like to get near the rocks because I'm going to put a line out for see if I can get some wrasse or something. I used to get wrasse in here. I mean, I've had them numerous times over £7, put it that way. And snorkeling, I used to climb down the cliffs as well with all the snorkeling gear, go snorkeling around here. You get big crab, and I mean, you see rockfish, I kid you not, some of those rockfish were way bigger than £7. There was one in particular, we used to call him, well, I used to call him Popeye. For some reason his eyes seemed to stick out the side of his head. He was huge. One of the biggest of two wrasse I've seen that big in my life. But all in the past, I'm afraid. Whether it's like that now. Is there any wrasse in here? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll go here because it's getting just like a drop off here, so it might be a good place. We're going to anchor because really you want to be stopped for us. You can't catch them drifting, but it's better to stop. Hope I've got enough rope on here. That's the only thing. I only brought a short rope for this. Start setting up the rod. I'll just use the I'll use one of these for this. It's not got the strongest line. I like to have strong line for wrasse because, crikey, they can snap £30 line easily. The big ones anyway. When we used to go wrasse fishing properly, we used to go down with size 3/0 hooks, boat rods, and like, oh crikey, at one point I was using £80 Dacron, but that was a bit overkill. Normally about £30 main line, 25, 30, I wouldn't go 25, £30 main line. That's if you're serious about getting a big one. Because the thing is, if they get in, like in these rock areas, in this kelp area, you give them any ground and they're in, and you'll just lose everything and end up snapping the line off, even a hook in a fish and all that. So, right, let's bring a few bits, fishing bits somewhere. Oh well. We've got no trace line. Have to pinch some off the normal line. Right here. It's only a test. We'll cast it out afterwards if we want to go static on the bottom. Let's get cooking, as they say. Now, why was that just off the rod? Just a rod I thought. Now, there's different ways of doing mackerel. You can, what you can do is you can just head it like this, either side, knife, pull the head off, pull the guts out, leave the stomach intact, and you can stuff it and just cut the tail off. Or you can do exactly the same and slit down the stomach, clean it out as well that way. Or you can do like I'm going to do. I'm just going to fillet it because I want it boneless. So all you do with mackerel pretty much is just run the knife just all the way down like that. You don't have to worry about all the fancy filleting and that. Like that. Like that. Then what you do is, if you want the bones all gone, just go underneath the stomach of where the stomach is, because that'll have bones, like so. Just take that out like that, just that way, and then just V it like that, because there's a central bone in there. Grab hold of it, that particular piece, get it, like that, and you just rip it out like that. And then that is a boneless fillet. Right, I'll just do the same with the other one, and then I'll get back to you when we're going to do the cooking. Looks like we might be onto a fish. Yeah! Oh, it's in. Yeah, don't tell me it's gone in already. Yeah. Damn it. Yep, gone, lost everything. So frustrating when that happens. Oh well. We'll concentrate on that in a minute. So, this is just table salt. I'm going to use it to put on the fish. First I want to and I'm just going to rub a bit of salt into them. The wind doesn't blow it all away. Then it's salt. Just going to rub it in a bit as well, like that. That's fine. Still got a bit of bone there actually. Must have just missed that bit. So, what you want now is some 2-stroke oil. You can use 4-stroke, but 4-stroke tends to smoke more and it doesn't tend to go down well. Leaves a bit of an aftertaste, you know. But no, seriously, don't use 2-stroke or 4-stroke. This is vegetable oil. This is sunflower oil. So it's going to fry it in sunflower oil. Now, while we're off camera, as I was coming in, I passed the parsley rock and I picked up some parsley off the rock like that. And then I jumped over the side, swam in, climbed up the cliff, grabbed myself a nice bit of spring onion, abseiled back down with my anchor rope, swam back out, and here we are. And it's got to be true because it's the internet, you know? If you believe that, you believe it. Right. This isn't the best frying pan, so I am expecting the mackerel to stick to it a bit. Right. Now, unfortunately this frying pan isn't the best, that's why it was being thrown out, because it was, everything used to stick to it. But it does the job. So there you go, a nice fried mackerel sandwich, a little bit of onion, a bit of parsley with it. That is so good. Yeah, I tell you, as far as mackerel goes, this one is absolutely superb. Sometimes they can be a little dry, but this is just really nice. have a little bit of a tradition on this boat, and that is I always eat the first mackerel I catch every year. I mean, look at that. How nice is that? It's so tasty. Nice day as well. A little bit breezy, but right. Let's get this line on. Catch the fish. Go. Right, I won't flick it so far this time, so we're pulling up more straight up than along. We're going to go fishing for wrasse. You can use shellfish of any description, but top baits for big wrasse, crab. Plain and simple, crab. You can use worm. You'll get a lot of fish with worm, like ragworm. The trouble is you'll get a lot of small fish. And you will pick them up with lugworm and that as well. I mean, you'll pick them up with a lot of those sort of baits, but like I say, best baits definitely ragworm probably, and crab. They'll take prawns and things as well, but now if you're serious about going for a big wrasse, use crab. Hard crab. Don't waste your money on peelers. I mean, they'll catch, but hard crab, like I say, just slap the whole thing on if you've got shore crab. If it's a big one, chop it in half, but if it's small, you can use them whole or medium. That's what I used to do for years when I was a kid, was come down here, these rock marks, fishing for the wrasse. And I always remember, I used to come down with worm all the time. And one day I saw a guy down here, or somewhere over there, and he was fishing with crab. And I saw him catching rockfish, and I thought, oh, well, I'll try that. Crab's easier to get than worm. So I got some crab, came down here, and bang, I mean, I was getting 4-pounders, 6-pounders, 5-pounders. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. And then of course over the few years or whatever I was fishing for them, I had 7s as well. I never made it to 8 though. The biggest I got was about just over 7.5. The thing is, most of these bays around the cliff will catch rockfish, especially the places that you can't get to from the land. It's the rockfish stronghold. I've never found many bass down here though. I think it's because there's too much competition with the wrasse. You know, as soon as crabs and things turn up, the bass will eat. The rockfish just annihilate them. You know, so many of them, or there used to be so many of them. I don't know what they're like now. There's obviously still some here. Like I said, big wrasse area. Let's just check we are recording this. Yes, we are. I'll just show it to you first. I'll sort the hook out. There you go. Lovely wrasse. Like I say, not a bad size one, but there's much bigger here than this, I can tell you that much. Much bigger. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's a Ballan Wrasse. They live amongst the rocks here. They've got big, powerful teeth for crushing things. Don't get your fingers in there. They crush shells, crush crabs, all that sort of thing. They make excellent eating. If you get a big one like this, fillet it up. It's a bit of work, so you've got to get rid of the scales, the skin, all the rest of it. It's a bit of work, but once you get a nice flank off that under the grill, it is absolutely superb. But anyway, it's also amazing lobster bait. Right. If you want to see more of this, we can always come back and do this again. We can do it properly next time, and we can also maybe use the float. You can float fish because we can set the depth just off the bottom. I mean, I can bring some worm in that and we'll catch more wrasse, that's for sure. Worm, but like I said, they'll only be small. Today was just, like I say, for a bit of fun, really. So. Just gonna let the bait go, they can have a free feed. Right, let's see if we can get our anchor back. You know, dropping your anchor in rocks. Wondering about anchoring. When I have my anchor, I have a bit of string there. It's a breakaway, so when it pulls that way, straight down, when you're anchored, it doesn't affect it. But if you push your boat back against it, if you get it jammed, it'll snap that free and you can get your anchor back and pull up backwards. It's like a breakaway system. Just in case if you're interested in how I do it. But I don't often anchor much, so. This, don't go flying. Let's go. And out seems any more pollock. Oh, in the engine. Right, let's go. Bad. Almost can see that. There's a lobster in there. I think it's going to be too small. But I'll check in a minute once I've